Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you're watching. This is late night here in Poland, and I'm doing this live stream because I've been following up with with the case of Gitiriba, and I think there's something. I'm just I don't know. I've been staying for some time to understand what could be the main issue right now. I've been watching into, I've been trying to find out what could be a problem in this case. I know yes, a mistake was done, but I'm thinking like maybe we are seeing things in a different way. Maybe we have not seen it the way it's supposed to be seen. So I'm looking into what could be the motives, what could be the interest behind all this case. So I came to a conspiracy theory. I think there's something cooking up. And I don't know if you have noticed, all of you, that there's something actually cooking up. And this is why I'm doing actually this live. I tend to actually not do videos like breaking news most of the time. I tend to do a recap and try and when I analyze the story, it's about time that we discuss about what is actually happening in the village. And at the village right now, we know Gitiriba has been arrested. He's been arraigned in court according to the Kenyan constitution law that when somebody's been arrested, by 24 hours, he should be presented at the law courts. So he was arrested in the evening. So preceding morning, he was supposed to be arraigned in court, and which was actually something that happened. And now, as we see him being arrested, and we all know the charges: underage pregnancies. He's one of the predators actually in the village. So that has really caused a lot of problem, and it's not the only one. Apparently, it's alleged that we have several culprits who are in the village, and some of them were seen actually during the court session. So I'm happy that the government is taking in place, is taking this case seriously, and just want to say blessings most high. Thank you for coming in. Welcome back. It's long time I saw you, most high. Most high, I will just explain in a nutshell. There's a place in the western part of Kenya, the southwestern part of Kenya. It's called Nyabohanse. Apparently, there's a YouTuber there who's actually famous in the country, and he moves around the world. So he had last year he had a party during the December holidays, and during that all month he did a all month party, and during that time kids were actually on the site helping him to build the house. So it was child labor, and also there was a party ongoing at night where people were dancing, sometimes winning GoPros, and many things, money. So apparently, in between that event, some gentlemen of age took advantage of young girls, and right now we have girls about maybe summoning to about 4 who are already pregnant right now, and uh, they are actually not going to school. Actually, by the constitution of Kenya, they have made a mistake, and the predators should be, arrested and taken to court. That is according to the law. So one of them has been arrested, who apparently, this guy that I say is famous. This is the driver. He drives him around in the village using the motorcycle. So one of these there's a lot of allegation that he has impregnated some girl, and the girl apparently, I don't know, the kid was actually, unalived through some procurement of medications, and that is the story right now. But apparently, also UNICEF has been following up this, or I don't know, the director of criminal investigations department of Kenya. It falls under the category of the police of investigating authority. I think for Americans it would be similar to FBI. I think so. It should be around. It should be similar to FBI. So they'll be following up with this case. So that's that's actually a nutshell of what actually was happening in that particular area. And so today, as we're talking, the guy is in remand. He's not actually jail. Is actually, he's awaiting his judgment so that he could serve a jail term if he's found guilty. So at the moment, he's actually facing a serious case of defilement, which is actually very, very serious. Actually, 2 days ago, one of the student, in the northern part of Kenya, a teacher was actually jailed for defilement. So this could actually fall into defilement. This could actually fall into early pregnancies. The case is actually similar, and the charges are almost similar, because the law does not permit anyone to mess around with a girl of underage. So that's a nutshell of what the story is all about. So with him being in court, so he could actually seek bail. It is within his rights that he could actually seek bail, and the bail in such cases are sometimes the money that is required to be paid, it will not be less than $1,000. Apparently, I've been watching most of the people who are talking about the case. They said he's been asked to pay $1,000, and we don't know. That's just a bailout. But on the judgment, if he's found guilty, the judgment will actually go. Will go way higher for them. So we are going to follow up the case, what is happening. But I've come to a conspiracy theory that something is cooking, and I don't know if you've seen about it. Those who have actually watched, I know most of you have not watched or do not know about the story, like Most High. I see Kung Fu. Yes, welcome Kung Fu. Said. Yeah, so actually, I'm getting some information from Kung Fu. It said Kele that is JU is Jamaican uncle who's actually a fan and turned to be a YouTuber content creator, and actually is based right now in the village. He refused to bail him out, as well as Marwa. So I do not know about who refused, but I feel, I don't know, Kung Fu, I feel that Marwa wanted to use, because how do you see somebody doing a mistake and this is somebody who's very close to your brand, somebody is close to you? If anything goes wrong about this person, it will cause a problem to you, and you just keep quiet. And then I just remembered when he went to see his land in his own village, and the guy actually had a big piece of land. I don't know why he's doing so. Why is he buying and building in a small plot in Nyaboanse? Maybe it's because staying next to the boss, staying around. But for Maro to see that and keep quiet about it, I think he was into no good. He knew this will land him to problems and will need bail. And that is why I'm asking, who will pay for this bail? And was he using his common sense when he was doing this? Did he knew about the repercussions? And if he knew or he did not know, why did Maro not say to him? And it seems Maro is covering up a lot, and it seems to be something that is common in that area. So my idea will be, there's actually high intentions of making him lose his land. So because I've been following up the whole story, and I just had to write some information because I'm finding it to be very interesting that you are big YouTuber, you're known over the world, and your own driver is caught up with cases like defilement. So underage pregnancies for young girls. So I thought Marwa is up to no good, and we all know that Marwa is not up to no good. And there could be another. Also, I think what you say, Kufu, Marwa has refused to bail him, or Jamaica uncle has also refused to bail him. Yeah, because the case being involved by UNICEF could have caught a lot of attention, and it could go the wrong way. And anybody who's actually going to bail him could be jeopardizing his own situation. He could be asked a lot of questions. What his relationship with the person? Did you know about the encounter? And if you knew anything and you didn't say or you didn't report, then you're in it. So a lot of people are afraid to actually get involved in this case. So I just came about this case. I just had a little bit of questions. So who will pay the bail for Gitiriba? That question a little bit struck my mind. I know they have YouTubers, they're making money from YouTube, and I don't think it's sufficient enough at the moment that he was also building. I don't think it's sufficient enough that he will have the money to bail himself out. And also the people who are watching them, since it's a crime now that we're dealing with a crime, we're not dealing with allegations. It's a crime at the court of law. So I feel like we are going to have a bit of a problem with him getting out the bail. So, and then I'm also thinking, where will he get it from? So one potential place that he could get the bail from is to give out his land. And the land in Yamboanse, I'm 100% sure, or about 70% sure. Let me give it some benefit of doubt that all the legal papers are not yet out. According to what I think, what I've been following up with the story, they still do not have the title deed. So most probably the title deed will be the one from his own parents' home. So because that will be a title deed that is related to him. And somebody will not be willing to give him the title deed for bailing him out. So there's a lot happening. And then I had another question. Why did this team of Marwa go to protect him? And some of them are even alleged to be part of the crime too. And why are they going to protect him and even try to bribe the police, the courts? That caught my attention, and I was like, is YouTube to blame on this? Is YouTube actually contributing in any way? Yes, it could be contributing because they're actually using this to perpetuate the crimes, but basically the actions of Gitiriba, I think they're personal. They do not relate to in any way do not relate to YouTube, but just YouTube become a subservient agent of what the actions of Gitiriba were. And I don't think YouTube also encourages this kind of behavior. I don't know, maybe it could go worse, that he may lose his channel because of this outcome. We do not know. So I also went into because I said I answered the question. I guess that he does not have the title deed to the land in Yamboanse, so I don't think he will necessarily use that land in Yamboanse to secure his bail, even if he bought it. So it's quite tricky for him. Just asking, why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why did you do it, Gitiriba? Why did you mess around with young girls of the village, a village that is not even yours? Now, even if you will be bailed out and he'll be free, you could see the animosity and how he'll be treated around among the village. There will be that. There will be, there's a difference when you're a culprit, but you're not a reigning court. But when you're a reigning court, there's a way people treat you different. So I don't know. He'll be able. Is he gonna be able to cope up with that? That for me was a question that I wanted to ask myself too, and also asking, just thinking about, he's not actually from that place. And also remember, there is also war or troubles back in his village. People have been dying, relatives, his own relatives have been dying, sister, brother, parents, once in a year he's lost, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 people. So there's also been an idea that he associated with himself with, the people in the village think that people who are doing YouTube are actually Illuminati. So there's also that. And so he's actually having problems. So he's having troubles with the law. He's gonna have troubles in Nyabohanse. the people will not be receptive of him, and also he's not also been recepted back at home. So he is actually a very interesting case to watch. And now the big question was like, was Marwa taking his behavior, because he must have seen, how do you travel with somebody, even for the time, Maro should have known that there's something wrong with this gentleman. There's something wrong this gentleman is doing. They've been together for more than 4 years. So I honestly think that Maro, you are part and parcel of this kind of pretended this behavior of Gitiriba. You're also part and parcel of it, or you actually just closed your eyes so that you could actually, when the time of bail comes, because you didn't know how this will turn around. The thing is that you do not know how these things will turn around, and you want to use that to get him into him. And you could see him going to his land and the way he was admiring his land. He was a man of an interest. So for me, I think there was a lot of problems right there. So I will go back to the chat. I see a lot of people coming in, and I see Fekere. Thank you for coming in. I see RNM. Thank you for coming in, RNM. Thank you. Good to see you. Hey, Notorious Traveler KE. How are you, brother? How is Nandi? Oh, you left Nandi. Okay. So let me read some of the comments. I think this is just greetings. Kumfu says he gets bail, does not stop him from going to prison later. Yes, that is true. Even if he get bail, it is just to give him that freedom to operate the case from outside. But also, there's a win-catch situation. If he's gonna if the court will see fit that him being released, he will meddle with the case, then the court will not allow him out, or will not grant him the bail. His land for bail is over. Oh yes, for sure. That you can imagine, Kung Fu, that he is going to lose his own home from, like where he was born. His ancestral home. He's gonna lose his ancestral home because of this, and he cannot rely on Nyambwanze. The crime was done in Nyambwanze. So I do not know. The situation is just sad for him. Really, really sad. I do not care. Yes. Okay. I wonder if Gitiriba was okay before hanging out with Marwa. Yes, I also that was a very good question. I also want to ask, was he this kind of behavior? Because we it's purported or alleged by Joyce's that 2 young girls left the room of the said Marwa, and I do not know if it is Gitiriba learning from him or it's the other way around. But me and you, Kung Fu, know that it's the other way around. The man has been around the world, so he's been picking these funny behaviors around the world. So I honestly believe that he might have been influenced the wrong way, and I know the motive was for him to lose his prestigious land, because at the end of the day, it will come to a point whereby he will need to sell the land if he could not grant the bail, or maybe he will be given a charge, or he'll be given a charge, because I don't know what he's been prosecuted for. So if he's being prosecuted in a case that is not defilement, and he has to pay out money and still serve a prison term, then he will need to sell the land. And whom will he sell the land to? His own boss. For sure that will be the person who might be buying the land from him. So it's been a long con game. What has been happening? It's a long con game. So I will just allow anybody who has any information or any advice, or you want to speak us on something that you think I'm also alluding to, because I'm seeing a lot of things that are coming. So I'll be putting the link. So if anyone wants to join, I can join. Today it's an open field. I'm here to, because I'm trying to understand what could be going on. What could be going? Is it a bad day caught, or was it Was it somebody playing around with Gitiriba so that they could lose the land? Because it's not only Gitiriba, it's alleged that also Mayugno did the same. And Mayugno has those houses. Maybe somebody's up to no good to take the properties of this gentleman. So, and where the family left the village, all the families left the village before this all started. So there's a lot happening. And I honestly believe there is something cooking deeper that we are not seeing it on the surface. We are not seeing it on the surface. Out of 718, welcome. Thank you so much. So we are looking into those theory. For me, that is my biggest conspiracy. I'm now thinking, or I'm now wanting to believe that Maro might have been to no good. He might have been planning to take over the properties of these people at a cheaper price because of cases. Because when you have case, the land you will sell it as a cheaper because you actually rushing to secure your freedom. So any amount will help. And at the moment, if he needs $1,000 and Marwa gives him, and he will tell him, "I need to take the land from your village," then that will be it. That will be it. Or you take the village, the house in Nyabohanse. So there's too much to actually think about. But my conspiracy, I'm now believing that Marwa was planning no good against these boys, because who are the culprits? The culprits are the ones who are actually his own boys. So, and we know Marwa very well. He does not want to see people succeed. He actually shows that he wants you to succeed, but that is not his intention. That is not his intention. His intention is far way out. His intention is far way out. So I believe he never thought maybe it could go, publicly on this direction. Maybe he thought it was going to be a simple case, but now it's involved the UNICEF. The guy could be locked. We do not know what are the charges. I don't have enough evidence of the charges, or I cannot clarify unless the court will finalize on the case. So there's a lot actually happening, and I believe Maro knew what was coming around. Maro knew what was coming around, and they left the village. So I'm asking, why did they also leave the village? All of them left the village, the sister, the brothers, and Maro himself. And it seems to be Maro is taking a break in Argentina for some time. I think he's gonna take some break in Argentina. So whatever the mess these guys got themselves into, or just Maro just decided to put the boys in a pedestal, give them a way out, like he doesn't want competition. So there's a lot actually I'm trying to figure out or understand what could be running in Marwa's mind at that time when he was seeing his own driver getting involved with minors and he said nothing. And if you remember, when he came to contribute some iron bars to Mayugno, he said Mayugno got distracted a little bit. So what was this distraction? And at the same time, that's when the wife had just left. This is like the second wife. If you may permit me, this is the second wife. So I believe there was something actually wrong with the whole plan up. And he actually gave a clue, but he didn't give in description. So now that we know the case, what happened is like the wife left because it's alleged also Maignos impregnated somebody else's daughter, who's also an ongoing school kid. So that is what forced the second wife to leave. So, and Marwa says he got a little bit distracted. So why is he keeping protecting them? If they're wrong, you should just let them know that you're wrong and this is something you shouldn't have done. So I believe my conspiracy, I'm actually heading to it. I'm thinking something must be going on wrong because Marwa's been fighting everybody. He's been fighting even those ones who support him, even who have not wronged him. He seems to be a person who wants to win alone. He wants everything for himself. He will see something good, he will want it for himself. He will also want it to be with him. He wants every little bit of every part of this world, He sees micro speakers on the roof, on a ceiling. He did not have the plan for it. He will put. he will seek into doing fish pond. He will also want fish pond in his house. You know, he's just an interesting fella to understand. He sees something that looks like bauxite clay, and he remembers in South America there's something similar to this. In Jamaica there's something similar to this where the people do clay bath, and he creates it, and then he realized that he's doing it the wrong way. And because also now you also have to remember, this is somebody who wants a lot of things, and that's why his house has been building, I don't know, for 3-5 years now. It's taken a long until today. He doesn't have a kitchen because he wants everything. He wants a big house. He wants everything he wants everything included in his house. The house is a total mess. Every room has a kitchen inside with a kitchenette. It's like some guy, a Kenyan guy, made a joke, I think, on one of the videos. Said this is like a big house with many bed sitters inside. It's like many studios within a big, apartment. So it's quite crazy to understand what his mind is all about. And the way he's not even serious with stuff. How do you see your own driver getting involved with something that it will really affect you? And for many times we've been saying with many people here on the channel, with people who are reacting on the keyboard, we've been saying this guy is just something else. He's living in a different 3D dimensional that is not even real. He's living in a world that it's gonna drain him. It's gonna take him the wrong way. It's gonna take him to the wrong path. So I believe uh, there is something wrong, and this is actually affecting him. He doesn't see it. He's adamant because he's greedy. He's fighting for something that he has no plan for it. He doesn't have a plan for anything, for sure. He just wakes up and decides to do anything he thinks or he feels like it's right. So there's a lot happening in the streets, and I'm believing that also this he may overlooked, but overlooking this, it will come to bite him at the end of the day. That was my own conclusion. That's my own conspiracy today. Hey, John Kinyanjui, thank you for coming in. Annie B, thank you for coming in. Veco Real Space, thank you so much. Yeah, we actually getting into the conspiracy here. There's a big Nyabohanse conspiracy actually happening, and I believe that there's something wrong Marwa is doing, and he doesn't see that it is going to affect him because greed has blindfolded him. Greed has put him in a pedestal that he's actually dropping so fast, and he's trying to cover up. He's playing cover up, and the cover up is not working for him. And if it was somebody else, could be better. But now it is your driver, and then we do not know if the allegations on Mayugno is true. Then your alleged first son boy on YouTube goes out again on the same, and then another person goes out. In a span of few times, even the people who had believed in you will stop watching you, will stop, people will unsubscribe to you. You're the one, he has been the one who has been telling people, unsubscribe to this person, unsubscribe to this person. He's ungrateful, he's not helpful, he's lazy. He's been calling people all manner of names. I don't know if it's the karma clock that is clicking, that has clocked on him. I do not know if that is it, or I do not know if it's the greed. Or it could be all of it, the greed blinding him, it's the blind leading the blind, and also just karma coming for him. People have been crying on the streets, working for him, for subscribers, and then he will come and say, I dissociate with this person. Please go and subscribe to this person. People have been crying. In the cries, maybe they're coming to put him in order, and I don't know what will be the case in future, but I believe there's something he thought he knew better, but I think he didn't know any better. So Veco Real says Veco Real says he's not a regular guy for sure. Yeah, for sure he's not a regular guy. Auto Marwa Mayugno Gitiriba, what a mess. Oh yes, 100%. These people are in a total mess. Kinyanju says Marwa must be the baby daddy of quite a number of kids in Nyabohanse. One day will claim a part of his property through DNA. For true, I have another guest coming in. Welcome, Kung Fu. You can introduce yourself for some minutes and then we can continue.
Yeah. So, the thing is, the word is because I was watching Nairobi Teacher. So basically,
Yes.
that's where I got the info that it's alleged that J Diddy, Jamaican uncle, is not paying for the bail, and that
Yes.
Marwa also refused to pay for the bail. It,
Mhm.
it really doesn't matter. It's good that Gitiriba stays in jail for as long as possible. If it was even possible for him to give up his land, or I hear it's not his land,
Yes.
for his bail, either way, he's ruined. Either way,
Yeah,
he's
it's
ruined.
ruined.
He's
The
ruined.
land in Yabonse, the what do you call it? Or the land has not been titled. So most definitely there's no title deed for that land. And then at the end of the day, it's just an agreement on paper. So it's not
Right.
official.
And the other thing too is I have to bring it up because when Marwa was in Argentina last year, I still cannot forget the two boys. One looked like he was about 10, the other one was about 12,
Yes.
in that park at night approaching them. And the one of the two boys, the older one, definitely looked at Marwa and grabbed either his younger friend or younger brother, younger cousin, whoever he was, to him, that this is stranger danger. This is some creepy guy coming up to two kids. We're getting out of here. And
Yes.
it's just that needs to be looked at. So, and the other thing too is I haven't heard like any information on UNICEF, like who broke the news first that UNICEF got involved. Like I haven't heard that story. Like who broke that, and where can we verify some of this information through UNICEF if possible?
Yes, actually, I think UNICEF could have actually put in their website by now that they're involved in a case in Yabanse, and this is the story. Because actually, allegedly, this same week, a man has been arraigned in court in Garissa,
Mhm.
Garissa court, and he's a teacher and he's been arraigned for defilement, so he's going to prison actually. The government doesn't play around this kind of cases. Sometimes it goes two way. You actually pay a certain amount of fine, and you also serve a prison term. So
Okay.
I do not know who came up with the UNICEF. I've been seeing it, but this is just something that I see on the internet. I've not seen any official statement from UNICEF claiming that they're involved in this, or maybe it could be somebody working at the UNICEF pushing this case on a personal level. So we don't know.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking, doing some searches on Google, UNICEF and Nabahanzi, and I'm not seeing really anything.
Nothing.
I'm just
Yes.
seeing the videos pop up that are coming out of Nabahanzi.
Yes.
So yeah, I wanted to like actually get that information from them because at their website itself, I went there as well. You type in Namahanzi, nothing comes up. You type in Gariba's name, nothing comes up. So like the information's got to be somewhere publicly to where we can see this, I would think.
Or maybe it
And
could be
that
somebody working from UNICEF, just
yeah,
working this
like you
alone.
said. Okay.
Yeah. You see, also
Um.
somebody says Marwa and Didi were born in November at the same astrological sign.
Oh man, and well,
Uh,
okay. So Diddy is 54 and Marwa is
mhm.
44. So
Yeah.
10 years apart, I guess you can call um, Marwa his nephew,
Yes.
something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And do you know about this? So UNICEF police can lock him up in Argentina. I don't think UNICEF have police, do they?
Well, there's a question mark to that. So,
Oh yes. I don't know if you knew anything about that because I am not conversant with UNICEF so much.
no, and to be honest with you, I don't know much about UNICEF because I never looked
Yes.
into. I mean, I've heard the name pretty much probably all my life or for quite a few decades, but I was never interested. Basically, what I've seen of UNICEF, if anything, is that they get money to, you know, it's like an NGO, so they get money for us as people to donate to them so they can continue with what they're doing. I have no idea if taxpayer dollars goes into that organization. Um, and then they also do like child rescue in some places, so I know they do that as well. It's not just like helping children, be fed, clothed, and all that other stuff. All the other stuff they do, I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay. So there's another one I saw. Yeah. Okay. I'd put this. I think someone. Normally, drivers are particularly close to their bosses, so I guess he should be well interrogated for full information. Yes, I also believe so, Veko, that Mano should give an answer or should give an explanation if he knew anything about this.
Well, I mean, okay, let's go back a little bit to last year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
November of last year, Gitiriba was the one with his motorcycle that hit that little kid inside the compound. I don't think he was the same person that hit the kid within a week of that accident outside the compound where there was a car involved, not a motorcycle, that hit another kid. But the
Yes.
thing is that he hit that kid, so he's been there for a long time. From what I gather, from what I think I remember from Marwa, is that he has known Gitiriba for a very long time, so they've known each other for a while.
Yes, they've been doing business, and you remember even him saying that I trust this guy. Please help him to contribute so that he can build his own house here around. And they were looking for land at that time. So this is the time, perpetually. If you calculate it, if you backdate, it should be around 9 months back. So there's the answer for you. So at the same time that this in areas acts were being or actually being done, he was also doing contribution. Boss was trying to raise money for him. So at that time they were so close. So the question is, why was he quiet?
And I can't remember the girl that was interviewed by Mogesi and Gintu, a few days back, and she was wearing, I think, an orange jacket.
Yes.
The one that was living inside Marwa's house and doing work. Is she the one that was accusing Gitiriba, or was it somebody else?
I do not know, because there's a mix-up. It seems Gitiriba has been involved by many. He has involved himself with many minors. Yeah,
And
it seems to be
did this
Mogesi's
take place?
sister, because Mogesi says the sister was involved with Gitiriba, and it seems also that whatever is being taken to court, or allegedly that there's a video of them doing the act. So we don't know if it's the same person or it could be a different person.
Okay, and did this happen in Marwa's house?
And I don't know if it happened. It could be. If the person was working in Marwa's house, it could have happened there, because it's a big house. People have their own personal rooms, so it could be happening there. But also, even if it never happened there, even if it's outside, you knew about it. That would be justifiable. Say that you knew something was wrong,
right?
Because you know something wrong happening.
Right. And I don't remember who broke the story of the kid who was hit by the motorcycle, but I remember it was like one person basically blurted out, and after that, it was that story right there was silenced as much as possible. But I wanted to make sure I made that live stream that day or the next day to bring that to light. The reason why is because I had a feeling that is something that Marwa definitely didn't want to get out. That is something that he didn't want his driver to get in trouble for. And according to, man, who was it yesterday? Dang. Okay. So I think maybe it was on trending, or maybe it was Carol that no. Actually it was Strongman's wife saying that she heard that she was asking some ladies about the kid being hit, and that was taken care of behind the scenes. So they came to some agreement or whatever. However, we don't really know that with all the crazy stuff that has been going on, and what a lot of people said that little girls were going to get, and we're calling teenage girls little girls under
Yes.
18 were going to get pregnant, were going to be abused, and all that other stuff. And with all the stuff prior to the party, during the party, and after the party, you can't tell me that there's nothing. You can't tell me that the story of that little boy being hit by the motorcycle is not suspicious of why they wanted to keep that so secret. And also, you got to think about this when you look at P Diddy. If you've been watching the story long enough,
Mhm.
all his freak off white parties, even the ones that weren't
Yes.
freak offs,
Yes.
everybody who is a movie star or an artist, whatever, they have to turn their phones in to be confiscated and
Okay.
they'll be given back when they leave. And so we're talking about some of those people had more money than he did.
Mhm.
So if you remember before the party, and a lot of us do, remember he was making that thing like, oh man, we should get people to sign a
Non-descript agreement.
right, right, that they can't film inside the compound,
And they
right?
cannot expose whatever is wrong happening in the compound.
Right, and they can't say anything. So,
Mhm.
of course, he's not organized in the head to do that, but he wanted somebody else to come up with the idea to make it happen, but of course, that never happened, right? But what
Yeah.
really happened was the people, the international, not audience, the international people that he really wanted was a bunch of passport bros to come in. Only a couple actually came in. So who came in? It was a bunch of YouTubers. So what do they have? A bunch of them have cell phones. A bunch of them have
Yes.
GoPros. So it was kind of like it's either he's going to allow them to film and then work for him, of course, or he's going to confiscate everything and not allow them to film, and they're just going to party whatever. So the thing is that a lot of people have a lot of things on video. JT is a perfect example of that. That he got a lot of stuff on video that's damning. Marwa has filmed himself saying things before and after the party, even during construction. With the
Mhm.
child labor thing. So when it comes back to okay, he lost his network, so I'm the only one. So I'm going to keep talking. So when it comes back to this motorcycle accident with this little boy, it makes me wonder how badly was that little boy hurt, and what type of trouble would Marwa would have actually gotten into because it was inside on his property, and how much trouble would Gitiriba get into for hitting that little kid. So that one particular situation is really suspicious to me. And it makes me wonder if he bribed the parents or something like, "Please don't say anything, I'll take care of you," whatever. I'm totally thinking that's something that happened. And of course, like I said, Strongman's wife was asking. Some of the ladies said they already knew what happened, but they didn't give her details. They just said it was taken care of. I have a feeling, or they should come out and ask and tell us what happened exactly in that situation after the boy was hurt. I think that's a big puzzle that needs to be brought out, including who else was there sleeping with these teenage girls? Who else was there associated with Marwa that was sleeping
Mhm.
with these teenage girls from that party, even off the compound,
And
in
you
and off
remember?
the compound?
Do you remember during the parties?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm sorry to bring this up because Pablo K said they did not allow any kids past. I don't know. It was 7 o'clock or it was 5 p.m.
Mm.
He said all the kids were supposed to go home. But I remember during the parties. I don't know if it was the first days. I was seeing kids actually dancing
Oh,
on the dance floor.
right.
So I'm
There
wondering, as young kids are 7 years, 6 years, they were already in the compound. So if 6 years were there, it means even the 16 years who are actually preyed on right now, who are already pregnant, were actually there.
right. And, JT has some of that footage.
In some
I've
yes,
seen
and the footage is there live.
and I think it was One Drop because he did a lot of filming at the time.
Oh, it's one drop too. One drop too.
One Drop, Finding Ian, a bunch of others. I remember like this one particular night, there was like 3 or 4 live streams going on at the same time. It's towards the beginning, and there were teenage girls, teenage boys dancing right there at night. and I can remember it was like probably somewhere around 11 p.m.
Yeah,
Because where
and
I'm
then,
at right now in the U.S., at that time, Kenya is 11 hours ahead of me, so I'm on the West
yes.
Coast. Right now, because the way we got, what do you call it? Spring forward, which is
Mhm.
basically you set the clock forward an hour, and then in a couple weeks, we're gonna set it back again. So right now, Kenya is 10 hours ahead of me. So in a couple weeks, it'll be 11 hours. So I remember watching where it was like 11 p.m. their time that these kids were dancing in front of that stage.
It's crazy. And you remember that same time, it was alleged that some adults were engaging in marital activity in those bamboo along the river. I don't want to mention the names because right now they came clean on what is happening. But you remember that's the time they were talking about people engaging in Harriers Act, and there's literally no room at that time. I remember even the houses were not having doors, so you could imagine the madness at that place.
Yeah, I can too. I can too.
Eh, yeah.
I mean, okay, the stuff that Joyce has said, okay,
Hmm.
she said a lot of stuff that basically, what happened to her. And of course, she said a lot of things like the two girls coming down, tiptoeing down the stairs at night when she was going to the bathroom, whatever, and saw them. She also seen, between her and Minhowie, Minhowie's doing some things that just wasn't ladylike. But and she was being asked for money. She was being pressured for money, all that
Hmm.
other stuff. But who else like Joyce's saw other things that Joyce's didn't see? Like who else was going into the bamboo sticks to see who was in there doing what? How do we don't know? Because I see a lot of litter all over the place. There's rubbish everywhere. When people take walks and the hikes in and around Nabahanzi in those trees, sometimes I see a lot of trash.
Yeah, like
So some
remember
of
when
that
we were
trash
doing
could
the
be condoms.
reaction. You remember when we were doing the reaction on the clay bath? There was a
Yeah.
lot of trash, bottles,
Mhm.
and you're wondering where they're coming from. And most definitely it was from that particular site where they were having the party. And you
Right.
remember you asked me, they're like, these people are so dirty. I remember it was during the live, I don't know which one, but you remember you said these people are having too much trash along the river. What could be happening? It seems they're like drinking. I remember you made that comment.
Right. But that whole river's got trash up and down it, so it's not just coming from Morrow's compound. However, what I'm saying is that some of the videos that I've seen related to Marwa and other people walking through the bush, I've seen trash laying around. So what I'm saying is, how many of those pieces of trash is actually condoms, condom
Yeah.
wrappers, the actual condoms themselves? And I guess you could say it's probably not a crime to do that in the middle of the night. Nobody sees you. However, when the
Yes.
litter, the evidence is left behind, then what Marwa said a long time ago, that bring your own condoms, babies are going to be made here. People are going to be involved in this.
Mhm.
That stuff was happening. And how
Yes.
many of those could have possibly been teenage girls that were involved with older men
True.
in the bamboos, right? So, hey, I bet you anything that there's, like I said, there's a lot of people out there that's got a lot of stuff on their video cameras, and I
But no
hope
one,
some.
they're
Well,
afraid.
I'm hoping some of them get scared and just say, "Hey, you know what?
Yes.
I didn't realize the situation, whatever they're gonna say, and just bring that evidence out." Because and also whoever knows about the truth about what happened to that boy after he got hit, just bring out the information. Just bring it out. Take it to the police or whatever, or just bring it out on video. If it wasn't that bad, say so. If it was really bad, and the kid had to go to the hospital, he had a broken arm or whatever, just say it. Just say it.
Mhm.
If Marwa bribed the parents to not say anything, just say it. If you know exactly what happened, just come out and say it. Because again, that particular situation, amongst everything else, is really suspicious to me. Because if he's willing to hide that, right? This is where I'm really getting at. If he's willing to hide that accident of a child, and with all the child labor that was going on before that accident, where a child could have gotten hurt at any time, and I imagine there probably were some children and some adults hurt on that property while that house was being built. I can only imagine that, right?
There's a lot
So
of
this
accidents.
so so this is what I'm getting at. If he's willing to hide that story, what else is he willing to hide that's even worse than that?
Mhm.
So this goes
Yeah,
back to Marwa.
this goes back tomorrow. I see Mikel just joined us. Pamela Modest, welcome. Another person who joined us is Andrew Senior TV.
Vika Real, there might have been some adults that got impregnated too, and we just don't know who they are.
Yeah.
With all those tents and everything, I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
Yeah,
And
I
I
see
can
God
al-
Matata is around.
Yeah, I did
Thank
see
you
him
for
there.
coming.
Go
Yeah.
Matata TV. Thank you for coming in, bro.
They've been saying you are God Matata.
People have been saying that for well over a year.
Now it doesn't make sense. You're here on the panel and you're also on the chat. That's not
Well,
possible.
I could be holding my phone and logging into a Goat Matata TV account, so that doesn't really prove anything. But no, I'm not Goat Matata, and Goat Matata is not me. So, but anyway, but really think about that. If he's willing to hide that, because that's exactly what he did. What else that has happened is he not willing, that he's hiding, that he's afraid of?
And beg you not, I'm sure Uncle Mo was doing his bidding on Gitiriba when Uncle Mo was seen at the court.
Say that again. What was that about Uncle Mo?
I'm saying Uncle Mo, I believe he was doing the bidding of Marwa.
Oh, doing the bidding. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you said beating. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to remember what Michele Ponte said. You know, I have no idea why Uncle Mo decided to go back into slavery for, his nephew.
Yeah, he was getting along so well. He was getting the nation. People build his home. People watching his video because he had a comedy kick into his videos.
Right.
Doing the singing, the flutes, the fake rastas. He had his own character built up. And actually he was at that time. I remember because the character that he had was actually overtaken by Maiguno with the blessings of Marwa, if you remember. So him coming up, he started doing its own. He had learned how to cloud chase. He had learned how to cloud chase on YouTube. You remember when the cloud chase that Ponte came to the village. Christmas list is coming to the village, and actually Christmas list came out to actually do a video with him.
Also, since you brought up Chris, I want everybody who's here and is going to watch this video later. When Chris was there and he was hanging out with Mo and they went to the Masai Mara, everybody, and I know somebody brought it up before, but not really in a detailed way. When they went to Masai Mara, remember before I get into the Mara, is that Chris went to that elder in Nabahanzi village and started promoting the Rainbow Act, okay, which is illegal in Kenya.
And actually, it's uncommon to people even in the village of that side.
Right, and he did that in front of little kids like 3 to 4 years old, the grandchildren of this elder. And the elder was absolutely confused by the questions that he was asking. Now, he was with Mo. They had a bike. That's the same bike they went to the Mara, right? And when they got back from Masai Mara, both Chris as well as Mo had contusions on their faces. And they said they got into a motorcycle accident. A motorcycle accident would not leave marks on your head that looks like you got punched. You would have, I've been in bike accidents. It's the same as motorcycle accidents. Motorcycles are just much more extreme. You're going to have skid marks, scratches on your face, your arms, or wherever that looks like you got dragged on the asphalt. That was not, there was not a single scratch on them like that. The type of wounds that both of them had was like they got punched. So what I'm thinking is, and me and KLA talked about this, what I'm thinking is that when they went to the Marwa, Chris did something there. He probably brought up the conversation of the rainbow community to the Maasai, or did something to piss them off.
And the got him hit.
They beat him up. They beat him and
I
Mo
think
up.
that's why the police arrested them. Maybe the police has been tracking them.
Right, because they came back. They came back like their adventure at the Maasai Mara was a failed adventure. Yes. And they're all, Chris was all hyped up to go there, but when he came back, it was like he looked like he was defeated, and Mo looked like he was defeated. So something happened when they went there.
And they covered up the whole story about his injury. He had a motorbike accident, but he had and the funny thing is that it's only Uncle Mo who was hit, who was beaten, who actually had injuries, while Chris was okay.
No, Chris had a mark on his head.
Oh, he had a mark in his head? I don't remember.
Yeah, like he got punched. Yeah. So something happened to both of them.
Yes,
maybe Mo got the most of it. Maybe Mo was trying to get in the middle of whatever was happening, right?
Yes.
So, but the thing is that Chris has secrets as well. That's why I'm bringing this up. That's why I brought up the situation, because Chris also has more secrets that we don't know.
Yeah, and you remember he kept on saying he got a wife, and I was like, why are you protecting yourself, or saying all along that you're a wife? Are you guilty of something? And I remember it came to a point where people were concerned and they're like, what's happening? Why are you like acting like this? You remember?
Yeah, at times, yeah, I do remember that. I didn't watch a lot of that stuff at that time. Just like now, I don't have much time to watch. But the thing is, even if he didn't get involved with any kids, he knows something, because he knows the character of Marwa. He knows the character of Gitiriba. He knows a lot of people there. He knows the characters of all these people. Yeah, he knows Dimwango. He knows Coco Girl. Coco Girl is another one. Okay, I brought up Marwa in Argentina approaching those two boys. How many times have we watched Coco Girl go to multiple countries and approach children very inappropriately? And the worst one that I've seen them all, but the worst one I've seen is when she was in Trinidad and that little girl was dancing upside down, twerking in a very, sexual manner that obviously her parents or whatever were allowing her to do. But who was encouraging that little girl to do that? That was Coco Girl.
Coco Girl, yeah.
And she was filming it. And she got paid for it.
Crazy.
So
absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Coco Girl knows some secrets out of there. I'm sure Coco Boy as well. Coco Boy didn't spend as much time there, I don't think, but he knows some secrets there. It's like all these people in that little group, they know what's going on. They know secrets out of that villa.
But why are they saying something? Is it that Marwa trapped them, just like our famous Didi? No. because I believe, and because you had a video, actually a very interesting video. If anyone in the channel has not watched this video, go back to Kung Fu Fanta, Mr. Nice, where he said, what was the title of the video? Like, Marwa did not tell Jamaican uncle that he does not own the property.
Oh, yeah, my latest video. Yeah.
Yes, your latest video. So is it that because a Jamaican uncle is depending on Marwa to hold the land on him so that he cannot say anything? Maybe we know you mentioned some time back to me back in the stage, and sometimes when talk ourselves, we said the kids or the children of Jamaican uncle were afraid that he might be eaten by lions. So I think the lion that we're talking about is Marwa himself.
Well, yeah, he calls himself the lion, right?
Yeah, he calls himself Simba in Swahili. So actually, the kids actually saw a vision, a true vision of a real lion, but in form of a human being.
Yeah, yeah. You know where I got that little story there? Just the other day, I was watching a rerun live stream from Sonia Adventures. You know, Bellyache,
Yes. Hmm.
Bellyache. You know, she was saying that um, his kids were saying that they didn't want him to go to Africa because they literally think that a lion is going to eat their father.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's where I got that information from. But basically, that was interesting though because I could believe it because in America,
Hmm.
you actually have people here. I'm not. This is no joke. You actually have people here that refuse to go to Africa because they actually believe they'll be eaten by tigers and lions at the airport. Now, when I used to associate with O'Shea Duke Jackson before I found
Yeah.
out he was a passport bro.
Hmm.
We had a phone call, and the phone call was because basically he was scared to go to Africa. He wanted information about Africa, and he actually literally said to me, "I'm scared to go because I don't want to be attacked by a lion as soon as I get out of the airport." That was literally what he said.
At that time, he was in Poland.
No, yeah, he was in Poland at that time.
Okay. Eves, welcome.
So now that he's been there, he hasn't been attacked by any cats, big cats at the airport. Um, he's gone wild. You know what I mean? He's got all that money. He's been doing things that's not legal there, right?
Hmm.
So, but the idea though, before that, he was trying to find somebody to reinsure him that he will or he will not be okay if he goes there. So so before me, if you remember, he was looking at, and I don't remember the Canadian guy's name. This one Canadian YouTuber who's a computer programmer who goes to Kenya mostly and sometimes Uganda, like 3 or 4 times a year, and he just does his own vlogs walking around.
I don't
So
think I know
O'Shea
him.
told me he tried to reach out to him, but he never replied back to O'Shea. So and then when he found me on my channel talking about Africa from time to time on my old channel,
Yes,
um,
Tia.
no, a different channel that I don't use anymore. I was talking about Africa. I was doing reactions and I'll talk about Africa and just on a few videos.
Hmm.
So he reached out to me and I was like, you know, sure, no problem. I can go ahead and just give you the information. There's nothing you got to be afraid of. And I gave him the do's and the don'ts. Guess what one of the don'ts was that you don't do in
Don't go
Africa?
and brag.
No.
Don't go and bring your American bravado or something.
That is one. That is one that I told him. But one of the things that I told him that is illegal, and this is before I knew he was a passport bro, is that you cannot be a sex tourist in Kenya or Uganda. It's illegal. And at that time, you know, he was doing interviews with a lot of guys that were going to like Brazil, Colombia, and all these other ones. And he was being like the so-called reporter trying to figure out what makes these guys tick and why are they going there, right? So I was thinking like maybe he's trying to create his own little Vice News channel in the beginning. Come to find out that that was not what he was doing. When he was doing these interviews with those guys, what he was doing was building his black book so he can have a network of those same type of friends. Because then I found out that's exactly what he wanted to be, was a passport bro. And sure enough, that's what he is. So all his channels like King Gonda, the Celebrity Junk, O'Shea Duke Jackson, you know,
Speed dating.
he's got a couple
I'm
other
really
channels.
against that. He's the one who brought the speed dating to East Africa.
Yeah, and that's basically promoting passport broing because a lot of the guys that have come from overseas and been on those episodes are well-known passport bros.
Yeah, because actually I saw one that was really saddening. The guy got to Uganda because he actually met the girl he actually saw the girl on a speed dating. So they dated that girl, and I think they shared some. I don't know how they did, but he actually dated the girl, but when he got to Uganda, he had the sit down talk show, Uganda show, and actually they took him to the speed dating, knowing that the guy is also dating somebody. So for me, I was like, it doesn't make sense. Why are you trying to get him to involve with another woman or something?
Right, right,
There's
and
something
even
funny there.
Go Black to Africa went there to visit him too, and Go Black to
Yeah,
Africa is not a
it's married.
passport bro. Right, he's married. So
Yeah.
why would you even entertain that? And the other thing too, a lot of the women that go on that show are actual prostitutes. They're actual prostitutes. So
Suggestion.
this is something, and he's doing all. You know what he's doing this whole thing out of? He said he's doing a house. He's revamping a house like over a year ago to be his new studio, but the studio where he's doing all this is in a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment building. Okay, apartment in an apartment building on the 3rd floor. It's a 4-story building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I just like Nairobi teacher tracked down Kibe in Eldoret. Well, 3 or 4 years ago, because O'Shea doesn't know how to discipline
To be
himself,
discreet.
nor his friends. I found O'Shea and that apartment the same way. I put together some images and got the
Yes.
longitude and latitude and the exact balcony in that
Of the
building on the
place.
3rd floor.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yes.
it's like there's so many kids in that building. So many kids.
So the
It's
same as what is about what? So it's the same behavior that's happening at the villa.
Well, no, the villa is like okay. So O'Shea is gonna be more discreet. However,
Yes.
he does a lot of partying and stuff out of there and stuff like that. So he's not going to do everything there. I think some people, basically, he tries to make sure everything's behind doors. He doesn't try to bring it out. However, he has a lot of the so-called models a lot of times going out in the parking lot and doing their thing, and he's the only one in the building that's doing that. And basically, it's just women trying to be provocative with their bodies in front of a camera. And then they go into the apartment and they film the episodes. So what I'm saying is that this is he's doing this in an apartment building, that type of thing, where there are children that live in that apartment building. This is a residential family building and neighborhood. And at any time, the noise could be coming, kids can hear it, other neighbors can hear it, right? So, the whole modeling thing, being sexually provocative in the parking lot is not cool. You got passport bros coming in and out of that building. You never know what some of them are going to do, because a lot of passport bros are also into children.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So can you, so
That for sure.
Let's just put it this way. He's organized. Marwa's not organized. See, Marwa was wanting to invite all these people to his compound. Go ahead.
And I think White was not successful for Marwa because he was dealing with people whom he does not trust. There was no organization from the word go. So maybe a lot of people are skeptical about it.
Well, yeah. Not only that, but you got to think about it. A lot of passport bros that let's say the ones that Marwa involves himself with, they're not even interested in coming to Africa.
Oh,
they're not even interested. His crowd of passport bros. The other thing too is, then you have the people that, okay, maybe they will come, but if you really look at some of these passport bros, they want to be like super clean or whatever. They don't want to get their shoes dirty and all that other stuff.
Yes.
If you look at his compound, do you
good apartment? The compound looks nothing of that.
They're going to look at his compound and they're going to see that, oh, it's still dirt. It's not paved. The grass looks, there's garbage everywhere. You're cooking on the outside. There's nothing. Okay. It's just a disaster. The toilets don't work.
Yeah.
Right? They're watching these videos, and Marvel wants me to go there. They're going to be saying, "Hell no, I'm not going there." A lot of them are just going to be that way, right? Because
Basically, in layman terms, you're telling me that Marwa missed out on international passport bros and invented his own.
right, something a
The
place
likes
like
of
A, pra-
Gitiriba.
a place like Nabahanzi, the village, and his compound, the way it's
Yes,
set up, is not going to be appealing to a lot of these perverts. Because these perverts, what
yes,
they
it's
want,
true.
they want comfort, what they're used to, and what they're seeing on camera, they're not used to. I mean, just look at it. It's a disaster. The whole compound is a disaster.
It's dirty. It's the even simple things like gardening. Like putting flowers into place.
Right.
Arrangements. There's pebbles to the house. It should have been a pavement or road, not pebbles. So it's total mess.
Yeah. Well, I would say that that's not so bad, but just beyond those rocks between the rocks, you got the big rocks, and then you have the normal dirt. Well, I guess you could call it road that's leading to the gate.
Oh yeah,
That right
the
there
one
doesn't look
with the
appealing.
rocks.
The pigeon barn doesn't look appealing,
And
right?
and somebody, you remember last year I told you there's somebody who contacted me who went to the village and was not granted a permission, and actually some of them were kicked out. They told me that the pigeon house smells so dirty. I say the smell from that place is, if you're not from that area, you're not from a village, you not stand it. It's
I can imagine. I can
Yeah, they
absolutely
say,
imagine.
because they smell. He said, the person told me, the smell of the goat. There is pigeon smell. There is food that has
Well,
been there for some time
Marwa,
rotting.
yeah, and you could smell Marwa's urine here and there on top of that, you know.
Oh, so what do you think about Gitiriba's case? Do you think he has a chance? Because I see Beko says it's an international crime, and the government will be embarrassed to be informed that there are foreign bodies and this type of crime in the country.
Okay,
I,
okay, so the way that I feel about it right now, if UNICEF is actually involved, because I'm trying to find out if they are actually involved. Right now, I'm hearing people saying that they're involved, but I want to see actual proof that they're involved. If they're actually involved, I don't think he has a chance at all.
Yeah, and
And
and, and you know, and you know, at the end will not be good. If they will give him the maximum jail term. So if it's a
mhm.
30 year, they'll give him full 30 year.
And if UNICEF is not involved, then at this point, I'm okay. I might be a little too generous when I say this, but I'm
Yes.
just if they're not involved, I'm gonna give it a 50-50. 50, there can be some corruption and he gets away with it. The other 50 is he's going to be prosecuted for his crime.
The police may want, if he pays the money or he loses his land for his freedom. Yeah, he may get away with it, but the thing is this: they will still arraign him to court. There's always
Mhm.
there's levels of court. So I don't know which type of court is involved in. If it's a magistrate, there's magistrate court, there's high court, and there's the Supreme Court. So him being granted freedom at the lower courts cannot guarantee him not to be sued in the higher court,
I look at
because the
Cecilia.
victim.
She said
Yeah,
that's scary odds. 50-50 is scary odds. It is scary.
yeah,
That,
it is scary because of the corruption. The police might be willing to take money, even the courts.
but if that was to happen, if UNICEF is not involved and that was to happen, and he got away with it, then more stories need to come out. We need to put more pressure on that village with the
And, that,
perpetrators
and that's the
and,
thing.
and keep
That's the thing.
exposing them.
No one is willing to. That's the thing. No one is willing to mess around with this case because there's a lot of interest in this case. Many people are documenting. We are here already doing a video. In an hour or so, when I'll be done, another person will be continuing the same story. So it's not basically like I just gave a story about during this week. I think it should be on Monday. A teacher was arraigned in court for defilement. and that I am 100% that had nothing to do with UNICEF. It just maybe the victim just pressed cases. So and I couldn't know about it until the media put it on the media. But now this is a case whereby it's already being prosecuted at the media level. So by the time it will be at the courts, it will be a different story. So I will still tell you maybe come a little bit up to about 70% to 30.
Well, I want him to go away. Lock him up. But the thing is too, now we have to think about what he had left behind. And that is a single mother. So what's going to happen to her? Right? What's going to happen to her and her child? What's going to happen to her and her education? What's going to happen to her? And, financially, is she going to be okay? Even if people are
Now
helping
the
her with
problem,
donations, that's only going to last for so long.
yeah, and the problem in Kenyan courts, really the Kenyan court will not. Okay, the law says that the kid and the mother should be protected, but when on a case like this, sadly, it will go the wrong way. It will go the wrong way.
Miss Optimistic, no, I don't think he's immune at all. I think he's immune in his village because the
Yes.
police there have been corrupted in that police station. But no, he's not immune in Kenya. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
And
Kenyan says.
and I bet you anything that other parts of Kenya, he doesn't try to do this stuff.
Oh yeah, true. I see. John said, Veko, Kenyanju says that we will know more from the beginning of the next month in the court.
Yeah. So the other thing too, I really hope. Well, I shouldn't even have to hope that reactors are going to keep putting pressure on Marwa because he's the ringleader of all these crazy things that have been happening, right? And what I was thinking about much earlier before I came on the panel was, I think you mentioned it because I was kind of like in and out at that time. That it makes me wonder if Gitiriba was he a PDF file?
Yes.
Before Marwa became a passport bro, and if not,
who trained
was Marwa part of him? Did Marwa encourage him in some way for him to go ahead and do this to some teenager? That's what makes me think that Marwa might have something to do with it, or it could be both. It could be that he was that way before Marwa became a passport bro around 2017 or whatever, and that Marwa encouraged him on top of who he already is. We need to keep putting pressure on Marwa because Marwa is guilty of so many things, so many crimes. Guilty of so many crimes. Allegedly, I'm going to say, go ahead.
I don't know if you know about this one. Obasa needs protective custody of UNICEF. It's alleged that Obasa's pregnancy is due to. It's alleged that it could be Mayugnos, and I see when somebody say that she's beating around the bush. She should come out and say, expose them.
Well, also before you started a live stream, Mogesi called up a Nairobi teacher that Mayugno went to Obasa and basically made a threat, do a video with me and say that this child is not mine. And so now Mogesi and is his sister, what's her name?
The sister is no, not Obasa. Obasa is somebody, is
Anastasia or something like that.
Anastasia, yes.
Okay, so both of them are on the run. They're live streaming Mogesi's live streaming right now, but they're on the run because of the threat of Mayugno was putting a threat on him and his sister.
But the funny thing is that even if he goes and do the video, he'll be asked at what point did he decide to go and do the video with the girl? And the thing is this, do they know that there's something known as DNA that could prove that?
Very true.
So I think it's just a guilt reaction that Mayugun was undertaking. I don't know if he knew that what he was doing is wrong, because he's actually making it more clearer to me that yes, he must have known something.
Oh,
Why did he force himself on the video?
Correction. R&M saying that Mogesi's sister is Obasa.
Oh, Mogesi's sister is Obasa?
That's what she's saying in the comment.
All right. Yeah, it's quite confusing. All these people just brought their case at once and trying to understand, put the bits. Who is the father? Who is who is the alleged father? It's quite something else. Yeah. I saw some comment from I think it was Apollo. Apollo says UNICEF is a heavyweight. They see this to a successful end. They are in the African team are committed to dedicated improving lives of vulnerable minors in Africa. They also tackle with adults. Yeah, and I think if this was involved by UNICEF, they must have done a heavy research. Even maybe they did not know, even maybe, the thing is this, some of them were receiving money and they did not even question where this money is coming from. They might be receiving from the government,
Well, okay, like I said before, I said I admitted that I didn't know much about UNICEF, just very little. So when I was at their website, they have like images with no sound playing in the background of little kids. So some were in Africa, but some of them were in South America, and some of them were even Native Indians. But I'm thinking, okay, so if they're in Argentina, I wonder if they'd be interested in watching that video of Marwa approaching those two boys in that park and how creepy that was. And remember the one that in Mexico after that, hey, he called that boy over and the mother came up to him and said, I want you to take my son off your video. And he never did it.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder. It's like, I'm gonna look more into UNICEF because now I'm more interested in what they actually do.
Yes.
If that's the case, I'm gonna. If that's the case, I'll forward this information to them because he's in Argentina now, and I wonder how interested they would be in watching that video because it was a very spooky video.
Very, very, very well.
You
remember when he documented, I think it was in Jamaica, a kid and the mother came and said, please remove the video. And he didn't. Even up to today, he has never.
That one I have not seen. I do remember the video where he approached those two teenage girls. I can't remember the questions he was asking them, but it was like, why does he have to stop those teenage girls and ask all those like information questions about the area when he could have just asked any adult on the street? So I remember a lot of people getting mad over that. That also might be something of interest that they might want to see, but the one you just mentioned as well.
Yes.
So like I said, I didn't see that one. So because one thing I noticed is that he will never give people respect when they say they don't want to be on camera. Same thing with Chris. He's the same way. Same way with Coca Girl. Same way. I don't know about Coca Boy, but these three people, they're like that. And if you remember, Marwa, when he was with Priya and he got pissed off because she's not taking his advances. I don't want to be filmed right now. Respect my wishes. Right?
Yes.
So when it comes to him, don't film. And what have I been hearing? I haven't seen the videos, but I've been hearing people say it. What about Dee Mwango? She's another person. So you can add 4 people to that list. She'll film people without the permission. She won't honor their request. But when she doesn't want to be filmed, she'll say, take me off that video. Don't film me. Right? So the thing is that a lot of this stuff is on. A lot of these types of videos where these people are saying, I don't want to be on camera, all 4 of them on their channels have these videos on there. All 4 of these people. But yet, a couple of them, brother and sister, they don't want to be filmed when they don't want to be filmed. They're in public.
It's the ego money.
Right.
Yeah. The money comes with the ego. Push them into this. BBC Africa can carry the news. I don't know. Maybe Ernest did not say which media station was around during the court proceeding. They said there's some media personnel at the court proceeding, so we don't know. Some of these documentaries take time to make.
We already know that Marwa is guilty of human
Yes.
trafficking with Paulina. And he wasn't successful with the Indian boys coming from India. That would have been human trafficking if that was somehow successful, but there's no way that was legal. So that was never going to happen. That was never going to happen. But imagine if somehow he could. So, but we already have proof that Paulina was trafficked.
Yes, that's 100%, because man was sent. There's proof man was sent. There's proof on video receiving the girl. And there's proof of something might have gone wrong in the apartment. So
right. Okay, look at this on that situation. Marwa admitted that he paid for her flight.
Yes.
And he wanted to do something with her in the bedroom at Ivan's house. She admitted that he paid for her flight. And she also said that he wanted to have sex with her in Ivan's house. Ivan witnessed this, and he heard him say and documented that he paid for her flight. And he said he wasn't going to allow this to happen in his house. So the proof is there, because even Mar was admitting that he is guilty
of the crime
of human trafficking. Now he's not. Now, if you put it in the term human trafficking, he's going to say, "No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I'm just basically helping somebody out, a friend, this, that." No, the way everything transpired, that was human trafficking.
It's like, and sadly, remember, I've been saying this. They're all documenting this on YouTube.
Right.
I don't need allegations. I can just go click on any video and I have the proof there.
Right. And the other thing too is governments, Kenya government, the American government, the Argentinian government can basically give a court order to YouTube
of getting
because
to get the back office
if you delete your video or hide your video, or if YouTube takes down the video, YouTube still has a copy. It's archived. Everything we do is archived. This will be archived today.
True. Yeah, the back office will give a clear video of what was actually done. And even in most cases where the videos have been deleted, people still have videos of like little reaction videos. They still have evidence. Remember, like the one, if he deletes the one that says come with your condoms, come with this is gonna be a big party, babies are gonna be here. Even if he does 100% delete that video, many people did reaction in it and even play that actual clip. So that's enough to you don't even need to go to YouTube. That's already enough. People have we don't know, maybe there's somebody somewhere has been documenting on his video when he saw something was wrong. We don't know. Maybe the government was quiet, And you remember, even on the last 3 videos, I said the police, the way they work in Kenya is quite different. They might see you perpetuating a crime, but actually leave you to make the crime more, so that it could be easily presented at court for prosecution. And at that time, in most cases, the police will be gaining from you. They'll be giving you fake freedom. You'll be thinking that you are getting freedom, but you're actually putting yourself in. And also, the police in most cases, they normally take time to do an investigation. They will not want to prosecute anyone just on malicious idea of somebody. Like somebody just come and say, you need to arrest this guy. No, the police normally take time to do an investigation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and get going.
So,
I think I want to go and
I would be asking you your last opinion. So I would be asking you your last opinion on this conspiracy thought that I have. Do you think that my conspiracy thought of him losing the land to Marwa is actually true? That there could be a possibility that he may lose the land to Marwa, because that will be the only person who will bail him out.
It's possible, but there's something that Nairobi teacher said, and it makes a lot of sense. In his opinion, he thinks that Rocio is
Yes,
basically the advisor now for Marwa, and
100%.
he thinks that maybe she told him, don't try to bail
Run
him
away
out of
from this
jail.
case. Yes, run away
Don't
from
try to
this
bail him.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, that'd be smart. However, it's not going to it's not going to absolve him from his
From
involvement.
exonerate him from the case.
Right, because he's still tied to that case.
Yes, in one way or another.
Yeah. So it's a possibility. To answer your question, it's definitely a possibility, because we really don't know what type of paperwork's going on in the background. We don't know
Yes.
if Marwa has any possible foothold on that land. I know he wants it really bad. And
Actually, not even the land in Nyabansi, the one that he climbed the
that tree.
the guava tree. You
Yeah,
remember he climbed the
I
guava
remember
tree.
that one. Yeah.
The way he was looking, he was doing that PDD thing of smiling and licking his face, and actually removing I think he removed the sunglasses, tried to see the land, how big it was. And you could see he was even people who are positive reactors, some of them were concerned, like, why did you do that? Are you really interested with the land? So I believe he was living in his mind. Yes, he might have been advised by Rocio not to bail him, but also in his mind, his evil mind, he wanted him to get into problems, so that when the day to bail him, he will bail him in the expense of him getting the land. And you remember right now he's an enemy. You remember right now he's an enemy in his village, because people are passing away. So he wants to live in Nyabohanse because of that. He's running away from those problems. So Mara to take the land is quite easy. So I'm actually thinking my conspiracy is also right, that he might have thought about it.
Well, time will tell.
Time will tell.
We'll just have to see what happens everything comes out of the wash. So let's see what comes out of the washer machine, and time will tell.
True.
All right, bro. I'm gonna get going. Thank you,
so much
everybody.
for coming in. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I don't have much to say. I think we should just end it today here, and we'll see each other in another one.
All right. Cheers.
Yes. Cheers. Bye everyone. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for staying with us all this time. We appreciate, for those who are watching this later, thank you also for clicking in and watching. We will keep on following what's happening, and I hope today was a great one. And for now, I will just end live, and I will say thank you so much for turning.